Look back for a moment. Across your whole life, all the nights like this one, all the things you lay awake dreading, how many of them actually happened the way you feared? Probably very few. And the ones that did, you got through them, didn't you? Usually the real thing turned out smaller, or just different than the version in your head. But here's the catch. Your mind keeps no record of the disasters that never came. It never notices it was wrong 1,000 times. It just moves on and starts worrying about the next one. We treat worry like a price we pay to keep bad things away. It isn't. It's only a story we tell ourselves about a time that hasn't come. There's an old story that says this better than any explanation. A soldier is captured and locked in a cell. He's certain that in the morning he'll be questioned and then killed. So all night he lies awake in the dark, going through his own death over and over before anything has even happened. Then he remembers something his teacher once told him. Tomorrow isn't here yet. It hasn't come. The only thing that's real is this night, this floor, this breath. And with that, he falls asleep. Nothing about his situation has changed. The danger is just as real, but he stopped living inside a tomorrow that wasn't here yet. That's the part worry hides from us. Fear can't actually live in the present. Right now, in this moment, you're almost always okay. The fear isn't here, it's up ahead. In a tomorrow, your mind has filled in, detail by detail. Krishnamurti spent his whole life on this one point. That fear comes from thought, moving away from what is, toward what might be. You take an old hurt, throw it into the future, and feel it all over again, in advance. Nisargadatta put it even more simply. Fear, he said, is always of the future, the mind remembering pain and imagining it coming back, which means the disaster isn't happening to you. You're making it with your own mind. And the next part is hard to believe until you see it. Another story. A man sits down to meditate, and every day a spider comes down on a thread and hangs in front of his face. Each day, it looks a little bigger. After a while, it seems huge, a monster, right there in front of him. So he decides, tomorrow, I'll bring a knife, and I'll kill it. He tells his teacher the plan. The teacher says, don't bring a knife, bring a piece of chalk. When the spider comes, just draw an X on its belly. The man does it, and the next day, his teacher asks him to lift his shirt. There, on his own stomach, is the X. The spider was never out there. It only grew because he kept feeding it his attention. The thing he was ready to attack with a knife was himself. That's what a worry is, too. It gets bigger every time you go back to it. And the whole time, it's been wearing your own face. You can't tell the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. The brain's alarm system fires almost the same way for a danger you're only picturing as for one that's actually in the room. Your heart races. Your stomach tightens over something that isn't happening. Researchers actually measured this. They had people write down what they were worried about, then checked back later to see how much of it came true. The result? About 91% of their worries never happened at all. 9 out of 10. And of the few that did, most people handled them better than they'd feared. There's an old image for this. Some travelers freeze on a dark road. There's a figure standing ahead of them. Even after one of them walks up, knocks it over, and shows the others it was only a scarecrow. Straw on a stick, their hearts are still pounding. Their minds understood. Their bodies were still running. That's worry. Exactly. A scarecrow in the dark, and a heart that won't believe it. Now, some worry is useful, isn't it? It keeps you safe. It makes you think ahead. That's true, but there's a difference between planning and worrying. Planning happens once. It stays in the present. It ends in an action. You make the call, You set the money aside, you book the appointment, and then it's done. Worry doesn't end in an action. It ends in more worry. It just goes in circles. Planning uses the future and comes back. Worry moves in and stays. Keep the planning. It's the moving in you can let go of. And here's what really stayed with me. The people who saw through all this never met each other. They lived centuries apart, in completely different worlds. A Roman emperor, a Chinese sage, a handful of Zen monks, Indian teachers who rarely left their own towns, and each of them, on their own, found the same thing and pointed to the same way out. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, again and again, that neither the future nor the past can touch you, only this moment can, and this moment you can usually handle. Lao Tzu said hope and fear are both just shadows, and that trying to control the future is like grabbing a master carpenter's tools you only cut your own hand. Ramana Maharshi, asked what to do about the future, said simply, take care of the present, and the future will take care of itself. Strip away the centuries, and it's one idea, said 4 times. The disaster only exists in a time that isn't here. Come back to now, and the fear has nothing left to stand on. So here's the one thing to try. Not stop worrying. You can't. And being told to only makes it louder. Instead, the next time you catch your mind building the disaster, ask yourself one question. Is this happening right now? Is the thing I'm afraid of actually here in this room, in this breath, or only in a tomorrow my mind has made up? Almost every time, the honest answer is, not here, not now. The bill, the test result, the conversation, none of them are in this breath. And this breath is the only place you've ever really lived. You don't have to win the argument with the fear. You just come back to now, where it isn't. And think about this for a moment. Across your whole life, the number of things that could have gone wrong is almost endless. Thousands of them. Any one of them could have stopped you. And yet here you are. Still here. You've already come through nearly every disaster you ever feared, and 100 more you never even saw coming. That isn't luck about to run out. That's the quiet evidence of your entire life, telling you something simple. You tend to make it through. You'll picture another disaster. Maybe tonight. That's just what the mind does. It isn't a flaw in you, but now you can catch it in the act. Building something frightening out of a time that doesn't exist and making your body pay for it. Behind you is a long, quiet line of disasters that never came. They never thanked you for the worry. They just never arrived. So tonight, if your mind starts building tomorrow, let it remind you of one thing. Tomorrow isn't here yet. The only thing that's real is this. And this, you can handle. You always have.